Hello, coolers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Kessie, as Fabrizio Romano have reported that the Barca midfielder's future is set to be decided in the next 3 to 4 months. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this Argentine and Villarreal right back, Joan Foy, it has been reported that Barca are keen on signing the 30 million euro rated Argentine defender in the summer. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Fabrizio Romano has delivered an update on the transfer market this morning. Writing for Code Offside, the Italian transfer expert has offered his thoughts on Barcelona's plan in the midfield unit. He has relayed Xavi's comments yesterday about Sergio Busquets' future, but more importantly, Romano offered an update on the future of Kessie, suggesting that the midfielder could leave Barcelona during the summer transfer window. The Ivorian, who was one of many Barca players linked with a move away from the Camp Nou in January, has endured a difficult first season in Catalonia. He has fallen behind the likes of Pedri, Xavi and Frenkie de Jong in the pecking order. It has seen him start only 2 league matches so far this campaign. Kessie's current contract at the Camp Nou expires in the summer of 2026, which means Barcelona have that opportunity to use him in order to generate fresh revenue at the end of the season. According to Fabrizio Romano, a definitive decision on Kessie's future could be made in the coming 3 to 4 months. During the January window, when the midfielder was linked with a move to Chelsea, among other clubs, the player vowed to fight for his place in the team during the second half of the campaign. In the end, he ended up remaining at the Camp Nou, but if he fails to make an impression during the second half of this season, Barcelona could look to sanction his departure for sure. With a contract until 2026, the Catalans can easily earn a significant sum from the sale of Kessie in the summer, which in turn could help them fund moves for top targets such as Martin Zubimendi, who is one of the players earmarked as a potential long-term replacement for the urgent Busquets. Kessie have had a very hard time since joining Barca as a free agent in the summer. And honestly, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting the very low game time from Kessie. And maybe because, Xavi does not really fancy him with his system of play, the Barca way that Xavi wants. And there's no denying that players of Kessie's stature will be angry or not too happy about the situation. And even though his agent have always come out and said, look, Kessie is okay, he's happy at Barca and he's still adapting, he's in an adapting phase, and definitely there will be a time where Kessie will have a lot of game time. But from the way things are going, I'm not saying, that there's no prospect on that. Xavi, from the look of things, have already made up his own game plan, and to be honest, even a blind Barca fan can see that Xavi does not fancy Kessie in his formation or in his tactical setup. And I think it is not surprising to see the reliable Fabrizio Romano coming out and say, look, these 3 to 4 months, we are going to decide Kessie's future, according to the report Fabrizio is saying. And I'm not surprised about that. I think if it continues this way, we have already entered the second phase of the season, the second leg. And I don't know, I can't see Kessie staying put at Barca for next season if he continues to be treated the way he was treated for the first legs. And definitely it's going to be something that, even his agent, they'll try to force a move away from Barca. To be honest, I think Kessie is a fantastic player, helped in AC Milan last season to win the Scudetto. And we can even see that AC Milan are really missing Kessie in their midfield unit. But here we are seeing that kind of player while useless in him because he's not playing the Barca style. But I think if Barca were going for a player in that caliber of Kessie, definitely they should have known ever since that look, well, we have a plan. If this guy comes to the team, that is how Xavi have to use him and so on and so forth. But it seems as though Xavi never had no clue, or Xavi never even requested him to come, because if a manager concurs with what the board wants from a player, then the way Xavi have been playing Frank Kessie, it does not look like that, to be honest. So I think Frank Kessie, his future is still very unbalanced. His name was rumored all around the media in the January transfer window. Chelsea were linked and many other top clubs in Europe. But fortunately, he did not leave the club. I think he should still be given some time to prove himself. I think there are certain games that Frank Kessie can prove himself to be a very key player. We know that yes, we have that midfield unit with so much talent, and to burst into that formation will not be easy. But I think once in a while, Xavi should regularly give him some time to play as well. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. After coming out of the January transfer window empty-handed, Barcelona have started preparing for the summer ahead, with the club likely to reinforce various positions in the squad. One of the problem areas is the right-back department. After the departure of Hector Bellerin to Sporting Lisbon, the club are without a signing natural right-back in the team. As a result, the Catalans are expected to go after a right-back in the coming summer. They have already been linked with a move for Bayern Munich outcast Benjamin Pavard, who is likely to be offloaded at the end of the season. But according to reports as relayed by Sport, Barcelona have another option in the form of Joan Foy. The Villarreal starlet has been linked with the move to Camp Nou for quite some time now, and was one of the club's main options in the right-back unit, along with Pavard and Thomas Meunier. The report points out that Barcelona have not lost sight of the former Tottenham starlet, who is regarded as one of the top young fullbacks in La Liga. Manager Xavi Hernandez is said to have requested the signing of the Argentine international, known for his versatility and discipline in the defensive aspect of the game. Joan Foyt brings forth an ideal combination of youth and experience that makes him an ideal target for Barcelona. However, luring Foyt away from Villarreal will not be a walk in the park. The player has a contract with the Yellow Submarines until 2026. Barcelona therefore will have to reach deep in their pockets, with a report quoting a figure of around 30 million euros. This could make the operation really difficult for Barca. And at the end of the day, a lot may depend on the departures of fringe players such as Sergio Dest and Frank Kessie, whose future will be decided in the coming 3 or 4 months, according to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.